so that my value proposition to them is, wouldn't you rather spend a meaningful moment in time for your target consumer? And the people that come to an event to address education, you know you're getting them in a time and a space where it matters to them. So if your product is somehow a part of that experience, whether you're rewarding them or whether, you know, you actually deliver laptops that actually help them communicate, it is a new way of trying to get someone's loyalty. Now, as I invite a company to be a part of an event, guess what? Yeah, the spotlight's on them. And, you know, I hope that because there's a spotlight on them, wherever they have darkness, they get called to be cleaner. And it's just where we are. I just believe that I'm a part of taking capitalism to being a conscious capitalism and allowing consumers to be conscious consumers, just like the Grand Theft Auto example, you know. So, you know, are they good guys, bad guys? You know, it's murky. You know what? I think we're all a little murky. And it's just.
I think if you're praising like the sweatshop in Indonesia, it's not too murky. It's rather apparent.
And I'm sure if you showed up to an action shop that was sponsored by Nike, one of the actions you would take is an initiative to bring light to that.
But unfortunately, also, I'm sorry, but the people that we're trying to reach are obsessed with Air Force Ones. At least the people that I'm trying to reach are obsessed with Grand Theft Auto. They're obsessed with text messaging. They're obsessed with Nikes. You guys are obsessed with these things. We're like junkies for these brands, and the brands know it. So as long as they're seeking out my constituents for my money, you best believe you're going to come correct, and you're going to put money back into that community. Because the worst thing that's happening that we don't realize is they're taking your money, and they're still having the sweatshops.
Right.
But we look good, right? We look good.
The piece that I would add is, first of all, like, I'm a big fan of service, but I recommend being of service in a way that serves you. Like, life is not free, life costs money, so actually, like, be of service, but be of service in a way that serves you. Secondly, I work with, you know, these huge companies. I used to work for them, make a fraction of the money that I make working with them now. And my goal, a lot of the reason why this company hired me is to basically maintain diversity and to encourage diversity at the top level of these corporations. So I feel like I'm actually being of service in a way that serves me. I want to bring women and minorities to these, you know, senior level positions. That's part of my passion. The other thing is most companies have a vision and a mission. Like, they actually have a vision for the way the company is. And the culture of the company, or what actually happens, is usually very different. As a coach, I come in there and I shift organizations. Like, I can tell you, like, I've shifted a portion of the culture of Volvo simply by working with them. Now, you know, I invite you guys to go participate, because it's not enough to just kind of sit back and have an opinion about it. I invite you to go in there and be of service. And the last thing is, I donate 10% of my time to service. So there's lots of things that I do. You know, one of the projects I worked on recently was in collaboration with the Bottomless Closet. And we took 3 women who were, you know, from start to finish, and got them jobs and got them suits and got them, you know, back into the workforce, and stabilized their life and actually set them up to win, like had them talk with financial advisors and all of that. So again, I emphasize, like, be of service, like, be participating, be in there.
Actually, I completely agree with that, and I want to wrap this up because I know we'll have to go most likely. But I wanted to say 2 things. First, I mean, it's my experience that people only do things for 1 or 2 reasons. Either to say yes to something or to say no to something. When you're saying yes to something, you're saying that you like it, you want more of it. And this is you're being of service in a way. When you say no to something, it means you're either afraid of it or you're angry about it. And that's why Grand Theft Auto matters, or that's why the Sean Bell stuff matters. But it's those 2 emotions that really motivate you. And these 2 emotions are the key. You can have this cognitive process of inspiring ideas and cultivating them, but if you don't have the emotion there, it doesn't matter. If you don't have this fundamental love for something, or this fundamental anger to stop something, stop an injustice, it won't matter. No matter how clever you are, it won't matter. Because all your ideas, they will fail to attract the people who share the same emotions. And that's where the community comes in. And so, I mean, I didn't want to, put you on the spot and say, oh, so what ideas do you have? Because that's not really how it works. You don't just, bring this idea out of your head like a rabbit out of a hat. you get the inspiration, the brainstorm from the deep, powerful feelings you get. And in order to think, you have to feel deeply. And I think what happens with a lot of people, like a lot of politicians, a lot of actors, they feel deeply. And it's the ability to feel deeply that matters most. So I think, when we talk about this whole process, you have to identify the mechanisms involved. That's one thing. But I think that more than that, you have to be able to share your deep feelings with others. And that's what the community is about. You're sharing your passions with other people. You're turning your passion into action by building organizations, which means you have to have organizational skills. You have to be able to meet people. You have to be able to talk with people. You have to be able to share your inner world with them. And you have to be able to turn that sharing into something sustainable, which ultimately means you have to keep in touch with people. You have to be able to not just text them momentarily, but plan activities with them. Do long-term stuff. You might be in a room with someone, but take the time to actually find out what they think about, what they care about. And it's on that basis then that you plan activity for the next 6 months, year, even 5 years. But if you don't do that, if you're just operating by yourself, then I think there's a fundamental collective action failure. What you get is people who just do things by themselves. They feel deeply, they're very passionate, but they don't reach out. And I think that's why it's important. That's why I brought all of you together, because it's not, I could have just brought one person here, for instance. I could have just had Ronnie alone or Jason alone. But I think it's important to demonstrate that as a community that we're developing, we need to turn the college into community. We need to turn high schools into community. And those communities in turn will be smart enough to know what needs to be fixed. That's my core belief.